Hi, good evening.
Good evening, Pinaki ji.
You won't believe, Shruti, I was just having this session alone this evening. And I just started recording and I just said good evening and you appeared.
How was your trip?
Awesome, fantastic.
When did you go and for how many days and when did you come back?
No, I left on only on 11th morning and returned yesterday evening.
Wow, wow. I think that break is much needed. You look so fresh today.
Really? Okay, good. So you mean I don't look this fresh in other days?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, good. You're not attending these sessions nowadays?
Actually, office is keeping a bit busy. I'm coming late every day. If I leave from office, then I still do the call on the way. But these days I'm leaving late, so I will try to organize from tomorrow. If
You have
I'll
to,
try to manage my time in a better way so that I'm able to
absolutely.
join the session like before.
You have to give value to your time well, otherwise it won't work. If you read the stories that you have already shared in the past, if you observe, if you read those stories, the ones which we have already shared, you discover that you are again getting back into the same old trap.
No, no, no. I think I will start doing it from
You
tomorrow.
know,
Yes.
please do. Yeah. So see why I'm saying so. It may look so funny, but let me share something very amazing. The session that I planned for tonight was one of my favorites, and I just thought about sharing it for on my Tuesday session.
Oh,
you know,
superb. Like the topics are simply amazing.
if I ask you what is that one fear which is not allowing you to do whatever you want to do, even just think about this 7:30 p.m. session. Like in one of the sessions, you said that this is something I just can't think about missing, and the result is
Correct,
you're continuously missing them for some time.
correct,
So if
correct.
I ask you which of these fears are impacting that, which of these fears, these are the seven fears which is affecting everybody who is doing anything with money.
I will say fear of influence of others in my case.
Okay, what
Yeah,
makes you think
because
so?
lot of times when I'm about to leave the office, some of my team member comes and they say, this is very urgent. We need to discuss. So I need to, instead of getting influenced by them or anybody, I need to set my priorities and time management in a better way. So
Mhm.
that's where I am lacking, I would say.
Okay, what else could be? Which of the other
Uh,
fears could be?
and also fear of criticism. If I don't stay, what they will say. Even though I'm the boss, but they will say, see, she doesn't want to work and she just wants to pack her bag at 5:36 and leave. So fear of criticism.
Hmm. What else?
In my case, I would also say fear of loss of love or someone.
Hmm.
That, to be very honest, that is one of the thing which was actually holding me back from last 2 years. Okay, I lost some friend who was very, very close to me. And then, I stopped studying. I stopped focusing on myself. I stopped, giving in my best and living my life like I used to, taking care of my health, going to gym. So for me, these are the fears.
Okay. So fear of influence of others, followed by fear of criticism, followed by fear of loss of love of someone,
Sorry?
followed by loss of love of someone.
Yeah, yeah.
It's in this order. Okay.
Okay. So
In your
my
case,
fear will be first fear of criticism. Second, fear of loss of love of someone. Third will be fear of influence of others.
okay. But you started with the last one, influence of others.
Yeah, yeah.
That is the reality. Whatever you're saying now is your judgment. But whatever you said earlier is what exactly how your subconscious handles it. So your subconscious handles it in the order of influence of others, followed by criticism, followed by loss of love of someone.
Agree.
है ना? So you have to observe here कि कहाँ पे things are happening default and कहाँ पे things are happening when you are logicizing it. It is not this one, it is that one. Okay. Now the funny part is that all our money goals are affected by these 7 fears. And this was documented in the year 1935, 34, 35. Somebody documented it in the year 1934, 35, almost about 90 years ago. And he did a research for almost 30 years on this before he wrote them down. Where he did a research of almost 30 years. And in those 30 years, he interviewed 500 successful people in the United States, followed by about thousands of unsuccessful people. For whatever reason, they couldn't become successful in whatever areas they wanted to become successful. And then compiled it into a book. And that book is a very famous book. Very famous book. The author is Napoleon Hill. And the book is Think and Grow Rich. And this is the last chapter of the book. Okay. And this has also been mentioned in Think and Grow Rich for Women by Sharon Lecker. So the surprising part is that all the money goals, irrespective of whether it is men or women, it is being impacted by these 7 fears. Definitely one of the fears for sure. It is not, okay, no, I'm not afraid of any of these. It is not that. So in all your money goals or money wealth or financial activities are influenced by one of these for sure. Sometimes it is multiple of them. And what he mentioned is the most influencing one, the most important one, which impacts your money decisions, is the last one. And this fear of influence of others, it covers a wide range, including not only like how your actions will influence them or their actions will influence you. Most of the time it's like if I meet somebody, he will or she will influence my decisions. So that is why I do not want to talk about this thing with anybody, or I avoid people, I avoid talking to people, I avoid going out of my way. And I get into the trap. The belief is like that if I spend time with this gentleman or this lady, chances are very high that he or she will influence me. He or she will influence my decisions. He or she will influence my thoughts. And because of that, I will not do whatever I want to do. This is the most deadly one, the influence of others. If you notice carefully, you will discover that most of your money actions you didn't take just because of the last factor, followed by one of the other 6. So we have Ankita with us, we have Rajeshwari with us. What do you think are the fear factors which impact your money decisions? Or maybe time decisions. Money, we can talk about money later. We can focus on the time decisions. That I want to invest my time for this particular activity, which I think I must, and for some reason I'm unable to do it. Like for example, if I talk about, I just picked up one example of being at the 7:30 p.m. session, which is only for 20 to 25 minutes, and your only job is to read the book, live the book, yeah, and then come and share the experience for 2 to 3 minutes. And for whatever reason you are unable to do that, ask yourself which of these fear factors are impacting it. It is definitely one of the fear factors. Definitely, there is no doubt about it. Even if you say none of these, like it's basically you are making a fool of yourself. It is definitely one of these. What is that? Just ask yourself. For example, even when there's a session at say 7:30 p.m., that session, and you are not in the session at 7:30 p.m. You may be in the session at a little later time, maybe 5 minutes late, maybe 10 minutes later. What is that fear which is not allowing you to be there? It may not be fear with the session, it may be fear with some other activity that you are doing, which is not allowing you to be in the session on time, which is not allowing you to take out time for yourself, which matters to you most. Some other activity which is not allowing to do the activity that you really want to do. Ask yourself, what is that activity, or what fear is connected with that activity which is not allowing you to be in the session at 7:30 p.m., or which is not allowing you to even read the book, or which is not allowing you to even live some information which you really picked up from the book, some insights you picked up from the book, and living that experience. Because definitely you're doing something else at that point of time, right? The fear is connected with that activity, because of which you are not doing this activity. Okay, now this is not about just that 7:30 p.m. activity. I would strongly recommend you to do something. This is just something called time audit. I am doing a lot of work on time audit almost last 1 month. Time audit, time audit, time audit. And when I'm talking about time audit, what I'm talking about is actually write down the activities which matter to you most. Something that you really want to do every day. I'm not talking about brushing your teeth and taking a shower. That is also an activity which you want to do every day. So I'm not talking about that activity, but I'm talking about activities which are like that. That I can't afford to skip that. I can't afford to skip brushing my teeth. I can't afford to skip taking my shower. I can't afford to skip the activities which I really need to do biologically. Yeah, we can't. I can't skip the activity of eating food. You might skip breakfast, but you may not skip the lunch. Ask yourself, what are those activities other than your daily core chore activities? Which are those activities which really matter to you? Activities which you want to do in your lifetime to achieve something in your lifetime before you leave this body. Yeah, because you are existing because of this body. People know you only by your body, by your face. They don't know you who you are. Even you don't know maybe who you are. Probably you also know the way you see your body, and you think this is who you are. At least it happens with me. I don't know it happens with you or not. It happens with me. Many a times I discover myself when I look at my body, because I think this is who I am. And everybody around me thinks, or I think them as they look, as they appear in front of me in their body. Okay. So the question is very, very important question is, what do you think are important activities that really matter to you? If you haven't done that audit, better start doing that audit from tonight onwards. Or what you can do some hourly audit. Maybe every day you can do an audit at 1 o'clock. Say 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, what I'm doing in that 1 hour, for example. Or maybe the morning hours. So when I get up in the morning, say if I get up at 6 o'clock, for example. So what I'm doing from 6 o'clock till 9 o'clock when I drop into my office or my workplace. What I'm doing those 3 hours. actually doing an audit, how much that matters to me. Or maybe your evening time, maybe from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., for example. What are you doing? Because that is a prime time, right? That is the most important time where everybody is trying to sell something, whether it's television, whether it's internet, whether it's social media, everybody is trying to sell something during that period from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's the prime time. The ads cost highest. Even the IPL is being played in the evening nowadays so that people can take their money, put it into IPL and get entertained. IPL has nothing to do with anything else, right? It's pure entertainment. It's just like watching a movie for maybe 4 hours, 6 hours. That's it. So you figure out, you actually do this auditing. What are you doing and what are the activities that you're doing at those times? You do and figure out that audit yourself that these are activities which I really want to do any time of the day, whenever I get an opportunity. And then ask yourself when you're not able to do that, where you are putting your time and what fear is associated with that activity, which is not allowing you to do the activity that you really want. It could be maybe just reading books, for example, that I want to read for say 30 minutes without any distraction. Now, did I get the time throughout the day? If the answer is no, ask yourself what fear associated with which activity didn't allow you to take that half an hour time for you to read a book. I'm telling you, you will discover yourself. You discover a pattern. Ekdam certain. You will discover a pattern that this is my pattern. This is how I invest my time. This is how I focus on the activities. And these are the fear factors which do not allow me to do whatever I want to do. Or these are fear factors which forces me to do certain things which I don't want to do, but I still do. Yeah, it is definitely do with one of these 7 activities. Okay, let's have our photo shoot. Can everyone come on camera? Hey, there's a storm here. Give me just 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, I was just enjoying the breeze, and then all of a sudden there's this storm. Okay, so Ankita vanished. Okay, Rajeshwari, can you come on camera for a minute? Brilliant. आज किचन में फंस गई राजेश्वरी. Okay, just a sec. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Brilliant, we got it. अरे ये क्या है ना श्रुति, you need to look at the camera, not at the screen. That's why your
Oh,
picture
अच्छा.
come. Yeah, every time your eyes are like this. Okay, so
हाँ.
Rajeshwari, 1 second. Here we go. So you just need to look at the camera and we'll count 1, 2, 3 together. We'll freeze at 3 for a few seconds and I'll take the screen. Okay. So here we go. Rajeshwari, can you come on? One more. Okay. Great. Here we go. 1, 2. राजेश्वरी भाग क्या गई किचन से. Okay, so what did you see for yourself from this conversation that we just had? Go ahead. Yeah, Shruti.
Rajeshwari is going to speak or no?
You speak first, then she can take.
So first thing is like, if I really want to do something, then I'll find out a way and make time for it. And obviously, we need to gradually let go our fears and we should focus on what is important to us. I think that is the biggest takeaway.
Replace we. Only focus on I. See, when you're
Yeah.
sharing your
So
insight,
I
you
should,
will have time.
yeah. So I should work on prioritizing my intent and working towards my goal rather than getting influenced by what others are saying, by what others are criticizing, or be anything. Like what I want to do, then my intent should be very clear that I'll make, and if I really want to make out time, then I'll manage my time and find out way to do whatever I like doing. So I think it is all about, taking out and setting your priorities right.
Exactly, exactly. Basically, we are talking about two, three things. One is figure out the activity that you really want to do every day. Starting point. Then you figure out what you are doing.
Yeah,
Then,
that's also.
like, what is not allowing you to do those activities? And the actions which are not allowing you, figure out what the fears associated with them, which are not allowing you to leave that and take out time for this important
Yeah,
activity. Once you identify that fear, your job is done. You just need to put that fear aside and then take the action. It's actually that simple. The whole thing is we don't know that what is stopping us. And
yeah,
sometimes we think that these fears are the real ones. And
yeah.
fears are all false evidences appearing real. False
True.
evidence appearing real. FEAR. Okay. Yeah, Rajeshwari. Could you share what did you pick up from this session?
What I would like to say, Pinaki sir, uh, whatever the fears you have shared, in my case, I will pick one by one as I was having the fear of speaking from the stage. So I started speaking on small platforms, started sharing book summary, started talking in the NLP and beyond. They're also talking for, you used to tell, speak for 30 seconds, 1 minute, and people used to speak for that. I was facing problem, but yet I used to join whatever the time I used to get, whatever the insight used to get, I used to repeat same. And I used to just appreciate myself. Okay, I have said 2 lines today, I have shared 3 lines. So by this, what I feel, a person knows what the fear he or she is having. So the best way to get out of the fear is to work to face it, rather than sitting quietly and overthinking, this is my fear. And as I have joined your NLP in action, there you have given a very nice term to fear: fascinating, empowering, abundant resource. That really now for me, fear is not a false, what you said just now,
False
appearing.
evidence appearing real.
Yes, that is not for me now. Fear is a fall. What just I
Fascinating.
said. Yeah. So that empowering one for me.
Fascinating, empowering,
Ah,
and
fascinating,
abundance of resources.
empowering, abundant resources. Now this the new meaning. I remember this only, not the previous one that you have said. So I'm
Yeah.
happy with this new uh, term that you have created for fear. So that gives me always the strength. Yes, I too have the fear of old age. I want to look beautiful. So I take care of my health, my body, my fitness, and especially the mental capability of myself. Whenever I read books, I feel empowered, and I love to talk with the people. So I join the communities of yours, whether you are sharing or some other. So I listen and interact. That also gives me the energy and motivation Plus, it shows me the path how to move ahead. As we say that I must hang out with the like-minded communities and the people. At least 5 people should be there who are having the same goals, aspiration, or they are talking about growth and all that, rather than discussing about the people, politics, and other things. We get influence. It's not like that I too get influenced by others, but I must check it whether that influence is for my betterment or it taking me down. Influence will be there. As I'm in your session, Shruti is sharing, I am sharing, you are sharing. So I'm learning from you. So I'm getting influence with you. And I know this influence is good. So I join again and again. Paid session, free session, every session.
Beautiful, beautiful, super. So just do this small activity tomorrow and just observe what you discover for yourself. And if you really find it interesting, just do this activity for next 7 days. Simple. Just audit, put in a list that the activities which are really important for you. You just want to do these activities anytime throughout the day, but it has to be done. It's kind of daily activity. I just can't afford to miss. Followed by the time that you need to do those activities. You just put an earmark also that I need to do this activity and this much time is required. Now, probably once we add those time, it may come to say 1 hour, 2 hours, something like that. And now there's a possibility that you miss one of those activities for whatever reason. So you need to figure out where you are putting your time in. And when you are putting your time in, you are unable to come out of that, what fear is impacting that? Out of those 7 fears, which I just shared with you, out of those 7 fears, which of those fears are impacting and not allowing you to leave those aside and focus on the activities which really matter to you? Okay, just do this audit, and if you do it over a period of 1 week, you will be surprised that you can easily take out that amount of time anyway. Okay, so that is the whole intention of this session, and I believe you definitely get value out of it. Listen to this session as many times as you want, and have fun. So that's it from my side. If you want to add anything to this, just add, else we can just disperse. Any last few words from anybody, from Shruti or Rajeshwari?
Actually, it's a like lot of times, there are small fears we have, which, you know it, but you don't acknowledge it or you don't admit it, and you don't actually, realize to make that change. Now, with your session, first, I actually said randomly, okay, the influence of others, then I went on to criticism, then I went on to the love. But actually, when you told me to think and, give the sequence, then I was thinking, okay, so I somehow got the answer myself that it is the influence of others which drives me. You know it, but you don't realize it properly to make that difference. And I think today that realization has come, which is important to make that difference. Rajeshwari, what do you think?
Sorry, I'm distracted as my mother was in the kitchen. I'm really sorry,
I
dear.
I am saying lot of times, Rajeshwari, like
Hmm.
we know our fears, but
Hmm.
maybe we don't have the time to think, or we don't analyze like what fears we actually have to make that improvement. But with Pinaki
Hmm.
ji's session, we were able to identify, and I think we
Yes.
are, and I think at least for me, I can say I can take
Hmm.
appropriate steps to
Hmm.
get better, to let go
Hmm.
of my fears which are not serving me any purpose.
Yes,
So
yes.
I am just asking for your input also. I think for you also, is it the same?
Hmm. Yes, I am taking his session. I think this is 2025 now, from 2023, and from that time you can uh, witness the changes in me. If you have, you will see my earlier videos and all that. It is totally different. Now, because of him, I'm now started my course. I'm doing one-to-one, and I just two clients just booked my course. So I'm really very happy and thankful to him.
But Rajeshwari, you also share with me detail of your course now. If I can, then I will also join.
Sure, sure, dear, sure. But I would recommend you you join NLP in action with Pinaki sir. You are doing
No,
three magic.
no, I will join, but currently I am pursuing the NLP course only from the coach which he has recommended. That is why I am not joining that course. Once I am
Oh,
done with my NLP course, then I will join him.
okay, sure, sure.
Yeah.
I think you have joined this now 3M magic. Have you?
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
have joined the money magnet one.
that is also very good. Just with him.
Beautiful. So I will just share the recordings of this session and listen to them and do the auditing which I shared with you, time audit and fear audit, and see what is possible.
Yes, I will
Sure.
go through the recording. I missed some of the part.
Yeah, it's okay. Hi, good to see you, Dr. Renu. Probably you are attending my session for the first time, or maybe second time. So it's a very, very powerful session. I would strongly recommend you to listen to the recordings of this session where we discussed about the fears which are not allowing you and me to take the actions which you and I want to take. And just see how it works for you. All right. Okay. So goodbye for tonight. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye. Thank you, Pinaki. Thank you, everyone.